Time's up. Time's up. Are you ready? Are you really ready? A lot of times we have things we need to prepare for. Why Toastmasters? Why Toastmasters, Vivian? We have Toastmasters. A lot of people think that Toastmasters is for people that want to do public speaking. Not so very much. There is an element of public speaking in Toastmasters, but Toastmasters is a lot more than that. What I'm going to read to you is, we have people, some people think, I don't want to be a public speaker, so I don't really need Toastmasters. I'm going to read to you some statements written by one public speaker that you may or may not know. His name is Les Brown. How many people heard of Les Brown? Yes, very, very motivational speaker. He was really good. This is a couple of his quotes. Too many of us are not living our dreams because we are living our fears. Accept responsibility for your life. Know that it is you who will get where you want to go, no one else. Now, we're not asking you to be a public speaker, but we have many, many examples of public speakers. We have Les Brown, as I said. We have Tony Robbins. I think everybody knows what a motivational speaker Tony Robbins is. And I would say Tony Robbins, what he offers is positivity. And people learn how to grow and improve themselves, grow their businesses through Tony Robbins. But the most thing he gives is positivity. There are many public speakers. If you look at TV, sometimes look at some of the speeches on TV. Our president, but I have a feeling that the president doesn't let anybody write his speeches because he goes off half-cocked sometimes. I don't know who writes his speeches. I think he does. But Toastmasters is not just about public speaking. It's much more. It's leadership. It's networking. And believe it or not, Toastmasters changes lives. I'm going to give you a page from my life, just a page, because I love to talk about myself, but I'll limit myself today. Once, a long time ago, about 12 years ago, I worked at East Bay Mud. And I worked in a department that hands out drawings to engineers, copies of drawings. They needed these drawings for their work. To me, it was very, 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 very boring. I didn't like that job, but you know what? They paid me 50 grand. Wouldn't you like to make 50 grand even if you were bored? I certainly was very bored. So what I would do is I would go to the bathroom to do my business. As soon as I went to the bathroom, I got to chat with my buddies at East Bay Mud. I did that several times a day. Once, my boss caught on to what I was doing. He said, "Alexis, you're on probation. You're only allowed 2 bathroom runs." I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? 2 bathroom runs a day? Hello? So what I did was, I noticed there was a Toastmaster club. Yes, I've always wanted to be an actress. I thought, well, that's the closest thing I could do to becoming an actress, get into Toastmasters. So I got my 300+ pound in there. I got in Toastmasters. Believe it or not, there was some seriously boring speeches from boring engineers. I couldn't believe it. They would have speeches about uses of water. I'm like, come on now. We could do better than that. I started giving speeches about my life, my family, my dreams. Soon, several people followed in my footsteps. And would you believe one day they asked the ALEXIS Q. Bennett to become their president? I thought, wow, president, I did it. I loved it. While I was president, I decided to start some of the other projects in Toastmasters to gain more awards. I eventually started doing youth leadership. I needed 1 point in youth leadership to get part of the Club Leader Award. So I went to Fremont and did youth leadership. After the first year, I had a great formula for my speeches for these kids. I told them, you got to catch them in the first few seconds of your speech. That's what I call the hook. If you don't have that hook, they're already thinking about what's mom cooking tonight, what their wife or partner is going to do to them in bed that night. They don't care about your speech, and they're not even looking at you, believe it or not. They're looking at their phone, see if they got any messages. They're not on you, but you want them engaged, don't you? After I did that the first year, one student came up to me, he said, Miss Bennett, I know you said you came here for that 1 point in Toastmasters, but would you please come back again? I said, sure, I'll come back again. They kept asking me. I eventually did youth leadership for 8 years in Fremont through that Toastmasters clubs. It was very, very rewarding. And Toastmasters, it's for growth, it's for moving up. I did find out that no matter what I did in Toastmasters, it networked, it showed people, wow, that ALEXIS Bennett, she's something else. And so I got moved up at East Bay Mud. I moved up in my life. I couldn't believe the growth that I had from Toastmasters. What I want to say to you, are you going to be ready for that interview you have coming up? Are you going to be ready to tell your husband, hey, we ain't going to your friend's house 10 times in a row. That ain't happening. Are you ready? And I say, why Toastmasters? Because it works. Thank you.